Yes, guys, as you know, we are still on the topic of the commercialization of human body parts for drug trafficking and, for human trafficking and for traditional purposes. So, today the concern I'm raising really, guys, is the normalization. What I pick up is that we are beginning the process of normalizing this cruel and evil practice. If you look at social media, you're even seeing there's so many traditional healers that are saying, I can do this for you. They're like openly advertising it. If you walk on city centers, there's people advertising, we can do this to you, we can sell you tigoloshi, we can send you miracle money, and people are even talking about it more like it's something normal. So I think we need to really work on that. As much as we expose it, we need to expose it for its wrongness, and it will never be okay, no matter how many people do it. The fact that more and more people are doing it is never gonna make it right. And secondly, I just want to say again that it's gonna take our traditional leaders to stand up against this. They must be the first to stand up, because we fought in this country and they fought to have a voice and to have a standing in modern South Africa, in post-democratic South Africa. And so I feel that the first people who should stand up against this evil, it should really be them. And so I just want to play a quick video, because there's also been police reports around saying communities are alarmist around this issue. And I just want to share that this is real, guys. This trafficking issue is real.
On her way home from a shop Sunday afternoon. She was bundled into a back seat of a car next to another young girl who appeared unconscious. She says she was sprayed with an unknown substance and then blacked out. The next thing I knew, I was at the house with the girl that was in the car and the two men. The house was filled with other girls. I was told not to panic and to make noise. These men later brought us food, and they would inject water they gave us with some sort of drugs right in front of us. The girls seemed to have been destined for a faraway country. They said that they would not rape us. They said that the number of young girls that they needed isn't enough, so they will keep hunting for other girls. And then only will they take us to Pretoria, and after we get to Pretoria, they will take us overseas. The next day, she managed to escape through a window without burglar bars. She got help at Leratong Hospital.
After this ordeal had happened, we are left in limbo, and my daughter is now constantly asleep, and she hardly ever leaves her room. We try to make her feel relaxed.
The family laid charges of kidnapping. The police wouldn't comment. Bilon Tlamlangeni, SABC News, Johannesburg.
So guys, we this is real, and it's a pity you can't see the video. This is a very young girl. I think she's less than 12 years of age, who was subjected to this ordeal, and she was lucky enough to be able to run to a hospital where she got help. I've heard stories of girls who ran to police stations only for the police officers to call the pimps to come and fetch them back. Guys, this is serious. Where is our hearts? We need to take this seriously. I'm gonna play a second clip, which is a little bit longer, but I think it's worth a listen.
Victor Ralashai, an Oxford-educated anthropologist, lives in Tiando. Professor, what's behind the recent increase in multi-murders?
Multi-murder has been commercialized, because in most cases you found that people who are involved in buying parts, they tend to be business people whose businesses are not doing well. And they think that if they use human parts, the business will do well.
How do people in modern Africa, this is in Africa's superpower, believe that body parts can bring you financial gain?
It's a matter of belief. People don't just change overnight. If from a very early stage, kids will be taught that multi-murder is dirty, is primitive, is cruel, and that if you kill a person, hoping that you can make money through his parts, know that it is not true, you won't get anything. But our school syllabus says nothing about that.
Education, education, education.
Local papers, there's a story of a witchcraft crime or a mooti attack with really gruesome photographs. On the front cover of today's paper is a little boy who's dead, and you can see his ears being sliced off as well as a part of his thumb. It's believed that children's body parts are more powerful than adults, so these attacks are happening more and more to children. We'd heard a little boy had been attacked last summer in Jelongo village in the north of Limpopo province. Fortune Kamalo is 9 years old. Hello. Hi, I'm Ramita. Hi. He told me what happened.
And children are so innocent, he can still smile, you know?
Fortune says he was playing football when he needed to go to the loo. He went to nearby bushes, and that's when he was grabbed by a man. And he's clearly still really traumatized. I'm going to ask his father what happened. Thomas, what exactly happened to Fortune?
The guy came to him and grabbed him, closed his mouth,
Yo,
and take him to the inside the bush and cutting his private parts. And he ran away with his private parts. Yeah,
His friends found him lying in the bushes. Thomas says the man who did this to Fortune was caught the next day in a neighbouring village, and he had Fortune's testicles wrapped in a towel in a plastic bag in his pocket. Why do you think somebody did this to Fortune? Fortune's father said money was at the root of the problem. He says people are driven by greed. That's why they're doing these ghastly things to little boys like my son Fortune. People will do anything for money here. The attacker planned to sell Fortune's testicles in Johannesburg. He told the police there's a booming market in body parts there. Thomas says what's happening here is spoiling the good reputation of black South African culture.
I like that parting short, spoiling the reputation of black South African culture and tradition. And that is what I'd like to leave us with, guys, and say that if the traditional leaders, they don't stand up to fight this, because the Christians, Bazalwanes, cannot stand up and fight this because they will be accused of being westernized. Neither can white people. It's very sad that this documentary is being done by a white journalist. We are the ones that should be leading these investigations and these stories, but because we sweep things under the carpet, we never want to talk about, our own weaknesses as a people. We never want to self-critique. That is why we end up with dictators. That is why we end up with so many ills, gender-based violence, all these things, and a lot of them, they are justified by our culture. So we really need to speak up and stand up, and we will never find ourselves in a situation where we live side by side peacefully with such people. If we have to war amongst ourselves in order to cleanse ourselves, it will have to be as such. Thank you so much, and good night.